I'm coming out there. I'm going to Magic Trade Show in September or something like that. I gotta buy my ticket at some point, but I'm definitely gonna come back out there and kick it with you at some point.
Damn, I wish it was earlier because we're staying in this nice Airbnb now. It's better than the one that you came to
Oh, for
last
real?
month. Yeah.
What made y'all decide to move to a better Airbnb?
Uh, I mean, we wanted to, as soon as we moved to Vegas, we just wanted to be close to her headquarters. So it's
Yeah.
like, that one was like 2 minutes away, but this one is like 20 minutes from there,
Okay.
west. So it's in Summerlin. So we have like,
Oh,
it's
so,
like a
yeah, that's a nice
four,
area. Yeah.
super nice. Yeah. It's like a 4 bedroom house and it has a big pool in the back.
Damn, y'all got a
And
pool? That's a
yeah, it's
upgrade.
sweet.
Let me throw my
Yeah,
pod
it's
in.
tough. It's a safer area too. Last one was a little sketchy.
So she, what you call it? She just has to make a longer commute.
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of nice. Her schedule, she just has to be in office 3 days a week, but she can
That's
do it
sweet.
like she can work from home in the morning and then go in half
Yeah.
days every day.
You did the seminar thing, right? Recently. How was that?
Yeah, I did the L1 workshop.
That's the first level.
Yeah, it's like $5,000 for a two
Mm.
day
Yeah.
event. It's like 10, 12 hours each
Damn.
day. And
Did they give y'all lunch?
yeah, breakfast, lunch.
Yeah.
It's like a full fridge of like Gorilla Mines and like enough caffeine to be cracked out the whole time. It was like the
That's sweet.
first
What was that
time.
experience like?
It was crazy. The It was the first time I've ever seen a bathroom line for the men's bathroom. It was like 90% dudes, like of
Yeah.
business owners, and they only had
Yeah.
one men's bathroom. So it was like a good
Uh,
10-15 minute wait to go to the
damn.
bathroom in between breaks, but it was set up really well. They had me like everyone sat in the middle and then I was like on
Hmm.
the side with it was tough because I got to sit next to these two one's 18 and one is 19 years old and they've been with the company for like 2-3 months.
Yeah.
So on breaks I would just pick their brain. The first kid from was this kid from Arkansas who
Hmm.
was just taking Alex's podcasts and basically breaking them up on CapCut on his phone, like, and was just printing money from that, selling affiliate codes along with it, like making 4 to 6K a month, like junior year of high school. And then he woke up one morning and he said that he saw a message from Alex Hermosi and it
Yeah.
just said run and he said he just threw his phone and like just started having like an anxiety attack like oh my god I'm gonna get sued and
Yeah.
he opened up the message and was like would you want to run my TikTok.
That's funny.
Yeah, so he because I told you I was doing Ashton Hall's program and they were like
Hmm.
I don't know a lot of people say like you get worse views on your content if you schedule it but he said
Mm.
their thing is scheduled out a month ahead for
Ashton Hall or Alex
four.
Hormozzi's?
Alex Hormozzi's is
Okay.
scheduled out on TikTok at least. I think it's 4 posts a day that he makes. It's 4 posts a day that
Damn.
they're doing on TikTok, and it's scheduled a month out. And then,
Fuck.
so that was one kid. The other kid, Jay, like super impressive, like super
Yeah.
humble. I didn't even know about it until I left.
Hmm.
But he worked with, you know who Noah Kagan is?
Yeah.
So this kid dropped out of college like halfway through his freshman year and he built like a some type of agency for social media at like 18 and
Hmm.
then exited and got picked up by Noah Kagan and like literally did his social media strategy to get his book on the New York Times bestseller. And then the kid wrote a
Damn.
book himself, which is like it's called like Just Do It or something like that.
Hmm.
And yeah, so and then most of the people that work for the company like are have exited businesses and they're like everyone's like below 35 years old.
That's crazy. So what was he selling? What was the dude selling affiliate links for through repurposing his podcast or repurposing Alex Hormozzi's content?
So a lot of Alex's high shorts views are from um fitness stuff, like which he
Mm,
stopped doing. Of like he'd take like an egg white container and put like
yeah.
sugar-free chocolate in it, and then people would freak out. So he was selling like weight loss pills
Okay.
and stuff from affiliate codes and was running it up that
Through the
way.
videos?
Yeah,
Damn,
through
that's
the
crazy.
videos. Dude, it's just just insane. Like I wouldn't even
It just
think
makes
to
me
do
realize I'm
that.
working too hard, bro. And it shows me that the amount of frequency in which I'm producing the content and everything, I just need to like really ramp it up like 4 to 5x, whatever
Yeah,
I'm doing, bro.
they were huge. Like so the first day is kind of like a college class, like seminar. It's like they have like these people and it makes sense. Like their thing is like you're paying 5 grand and most of the people didn't know about the level 2 workshop. Like
Mm,
at the end they were just like, "Oh my god, I hope there's more." Not realizing that they're about to get upsold
yeah,
35
quickly.
grand at the end of
Yeah.
it. But so it's basically like they have this presentation and all the like experts come up and just like go through it. And then the second day is like if there's 100 people, it's like maybe like 5 or 6 groups of 15 people. And you're just sitting in like a round circle of chairs on the second day, and it's just
Mm,
like every 30 minutes you have like a new expert that comes and sits down in that circle, and like anyone can just ask them questions. And
interesting.
so the day two was like I liked day two a lot more because it was a lot more tactical. But
Hmm.
top things I took away from social media stuff was you know how like things die out and then they kind of like old trends come back. Their big thing
Hmm.
was like posting more on Facebook.
Mm,
Um, Facebook is like a huge market, and then LinkedIn posting like 3 times a day on both. And
damn.
then their other big thing that a lot of people were, I guess, having problems with were like they kind of started off like over the course of the thing, like you slowly like go to the front page of this workbook they give you, and you fill out. You're ending up like filling out all this information to calculate your EBITDA at the end.
Yeah.
And like their thing is like it'll only like impact 3 people by doing this because there's only like 3 businesses that are actually looking to like sell.
To
But
sell, yeah.
their whole thing is like whether you're looking to sell your business or keep it forever, it's the same thing. You want a good business. So
Hmm. That's what I'm realizing too. I'm in a Goldman Sachs program, like I was telling you about, and like we're doing all of the financials and shit, and I'm just realizing like the way that I was running my business before versus like how I should be tracking my numbers and my ratios and stuff like that is like I'm realizing that the numbers tell more of a story than like me actively working day to day within the business. So it's just pulled me back and just got to my first principles of like, all right, if I'm running ads for this much and I'm getting my product for this much, it's costing me this much to acquire the customers. This is my cost of goods sold. Like if the numbers don't make sense, it won't make sense whether it's one product that I'm selling or if it's a thousand or 100,000. So I'm really like pulling back and I'm like, all right, my cost per acquisition for customers through running ads is like ridiculous. It's like double what it should be. And I always thought that like, all right, I could like kind of just start testing new ads later or scale up my ad spend and it'll kind of fix things. But I'm realizing like I just got to either re-strategize and like figure out whether or not I'm going to continue to run ads or improve my ads, or if I want to just go to like influencer marketing or try to get a medley of all of them, or even maybe like go to Google ads or try TikTok or something like that. But I have a really good understanding of Facebook ads, so I think I can win that game. I just have to up my frequency of how I'm testing and like really test instead of just like new hook, put the hook in there. I need to have like an Excel sheet on a week to week basis, but it's just
yeah,
being
their
iterative as
thing was
fuck.
like they said they told me because I was asking like if I should run ads for my like fitness coaching,
Hmm.
and they said to basically don't run any ads until I'm making 10K a month, and then for like all the business owners they were saying like don't you just have one channel until you're doing 1 million a month of like one paid channel, like you're posting organically on everything but just one advertising channel
Yeah. That's why I'm
until
sticking with
you're doing like
Facebook
1
because it's
million
like there's brands that are clicking on TikTok Shop, there's brands that are clicking on Amazon and Google ads and stuff. But I'm like, all right, I done already spent this much money on Facebook ads. I have the expertise and I can like win this game. So it's like there's other people that are making millions of dollars just running Facebook ads. So I know that I can do the same. So I just gotta improve my offers, up the amount of creative that I'm testing, and then just do better, do better overall for real.
I mean uh, what's your like targeting like on the ads, like are you very specific?
No, I just use like Facebook has kind of removed all of the specific targeting that you do with interest groups and audiences and stuff like that. So it's more so your words, the words that you say will be the targeting, and like your headline and things like that will direct the right people. So I just did a Juneteenth ad where I was like, if you've seen this ad, you probably my people's. Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you've seen this, which is crazy, it's like, it's like if you see this ad, you probably my people's, like, because you my people's, I'm gonna look out for you. Like, here's this this discount, come shop. The code is Big Cousin. So like, technically typically the ad will push to like black people. You know what I mean? Because like the way that I'm
Yeah.
talking, the code, and me being black and stuff like that. But like, of course, it'll push to also people in my network, like you and other folks too. But I didn't have to do any targeting. I literally just created that ad, put it in an ad set, put it in its own campaign, and bumped the spend up. And like, it was producing consistent sales, but we didn't really make money on that ad. Our cost per acquisition was like $70, and we would get a good amount of sales per day. But like, if you're taking 40% off your product, and your cost per acquisition is $70 to $80. Like by the time by the time you try to get money for yourself, there's literally nothing left, type deal. So it was just an experiment that I was kind of testing to see if like with a really good offer would people purchase, and it showed me that they would. So now I'm gonna take that same ad and I'm gonna do a Big Cousin, but for 15% off, which will be like the introductory to get people to come to the website and shop. Because I think at 15% discount, the numbers make sense. We just have to get our cost per acquisition to 40 to $50, because then I can kind of make that work. Yeah, I think so. Because our
50%
average
seems
order
like a
value is
lot.
90. Yeah, I mean it's not crazy because average order value is $90, right? So our product cost is we'll round it up to $20 per item. So if someone is buying $90, they're buying two items. So that's 90 minus 40, which leaves us with
Like a $30
$50.
profit margin.
Yeah, so like we have to get our cost per acquisition to like $30 so we can make a $20 profit per customer, net profit. So that's the name of the game.
It's insane, bro. These people, they'd have them like, I guess they're like the end of the day, they would like cherry pick the people that they wanted when Alex would come on stage. And they'd have
Hmm.
like 7 to 10 people like line up and like go to the mic and like talk about
Hmm.
what they're doing, their revenue and their profit, and like where they're struggling with. And then
Hmm.
I was trying to, it's one thing to listen to him break it down and give these people advice, and it's another thing to like think if I was in that position and I just had like 10 people lined up with different problems, and like
Yeah.
in 5 minutes I have to break it down in my head and give them advice. It's just insane. But dude, a lot of these people, like, besides, there was like this one girl who wouldn't take advice from any of them, but
Hmm.
she had the highest profit margin. Like a lot of the other people are like making like 3 million a year and taking home like 500K.
So
But
12% margin or something.
yeah, but it was just like kind of insane to see him like on the fly work that
Do it.
stuff out. Yeah,
But it
but
was
I mean
probably
that's
like
kind of
first
what he lives
principles
through.
thinking for everything that he was doing. So like if somebody's bottlenecked, it's like, all right, what's the issue? If someone was like, hey, I'm having this issue of increasing my revenue, I'd be like, all right, are you running ads? Do you have an organic content strategy? Like what's your distribution methods? How much is your product costing you? Like there's only so many things with business that you can like. That's why I like business a lot. There's only so many things that you can do that are outside of the realm of like what's the A to B to C to D. Like every business has the exact same needs. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like there's creative ways in which you can do things, but at the end of the day, you have your costs, you have how much it costs to get it in front of people, and then you have your profit. So you have how much money that you make once you get it in front of people, and then all the other expenses sprinkled in are just like are extra things that you can look at. But it's just like product. How are you going to get that product in front of people, and how much you're charging, and then how much you're taking home after you subtract expenses.
yeah. Their big thing was like Ascension products, which
Like upsells
yeah, like just getting people that already bought to
to buy more.
something, buy something more or higher
That's I've
price.
been on that heavy, bruh. Like that's why I'm cool with losing money on these customers that I just got from this campaign that I did, this event that I just did yesterday for Juneteenth. It's like these are all people that are already in our funnel. All I have to do is just like reach out to them with the right offer to get them to come back and purchase more, and then I can make my money on them pretty quick on the back end. So, that's the most important thing for me.
surprising thing was like 97% of the people were service based, which I guess Alex's stuff is
Really?
like mostly service content,
Yeah.
service business content. But I was like really surprised that like there wasn't a lot of product people. And they had
Wonder
like
why.
the dude who like runs it like reached out to me after and was like, "What was your advice?" And I was like, "Just cut out the culture piece, bro." Like they had like a 45-minute thing on culture. Like there was one business she had like she would license out salespeople to
Hmm.
like Fortune 500, Fortune 200 companies, and she had like 200 sales reps across like 30 states, and was
Yeah.
trying to get to 500. And she was like, "How do I like expand culture?" That was the only person that cared about culture. Everyone else was like, "Just show me how to get the money."
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, culture, it's not really something that you can teach, but there's like foundational things that you can impart. It just depends on the type of business that you run realistically, because it's like if you're running, I don't know, there's businesses that don't really need culture. They just need folks to provide the service or like to give them what they need type deal. But like for a brand where you're selling something that intrinsically isn't really worth what your people are paying for it, like that's when
Yeah,
culture and brand and all that shit matters a lot. But if you are giving people direct value for whatever they're paying for, it's like you don't really need that much culture to make a lot of money, if I'm being honest with you.
just also how many people are in the organization. Like
Yeah.
there's also a lot of shitty companies. I was thinking about it. Like there's a lot of shitty companies that like no one would want to work for, and
Yeah.
like very few that have
Really
um
cool atmospheres and stuff.
yeah, I think acquisition is one of those, and they take. I mean, I hear when Ari's like recruiting people, like it's like spoken about like 10 times. Like these are our values, and then like go through each of the three values and explain it to me and what it means to you. Like they're huge on it. It's like the main focus.
That shit is important for sure. I'm gonna have to figure that shit out with Vay as we get bigger because it's like I want fit people and people that care about like the causes and campaigns that we care about to work in the brand. Like so it's like every single person that comes into the company has to have that shared mission and vision and everything that they do. So
That was what
otherwise
they
it won't
said. They were
work.
basically like, you already have your core values. You just need to write them down.
Yeah. When you went, what company did you go in? Did you go in with your what you call it, your startup with the med balls, or did you have another, or were you going for the training?
I was going for the training
Okay.
because I mean that's the one I'm already making money from.
Hmm.
So like scaling that right now.
Yeah.
And I asked the guy that runs the workshop like which one I should focus my questions on, and he said just
Training.
forget that you have a medicine ball.
How are you feeling about that? I think last time we talked, you were like, there's one more meeting or something that you needed to have before you would decide if you are going to continue it or something. How did that go?
Yeah, I was meeting with this guy that basically is like the godfather of getting equipment to like gyms and setting up gyms.
Mm,
He said that I should either license out the patent or come up with a branding thing, similar to what Alex said. And then
mm,
my business partner, I have a meeting with the TRX CEO next week with him and
okay.
my business partner to see about
Damn.
probably licensing out or selling the patent. Just so I
Mm,
can like, I don't know, probably at least like recoup the money I've put into it and maybe some like
yeah.
residual income from it.
Yeah. That'd be
But
a good deal. How what you call it? How positive, optimistic do you feel about that meeting next week?
super optimistic about it because my business partner has come up with like I think it's like 27 products that he's come up with and patented and sold to TRX. So he's like
Oh,
been
okay.
down this
Yeah.
pipeline like 27
A lot of
times.
times. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
So
good
I'm
deal.
pretty positive about that. I don't know. I it's you start everything with like I just knew like when I was getting into it like I didn't know shit, and I was just
Mm,
gonna like I'm not gonna learn unless I just do it. And so like
yeah.
70 grand in 2 years, like
Yeah.
I just don't want it to be like a complete L.
Yeah. I feel that.
And the fitness thing is like they just keep telling me like I can make $10 million a year if I do it, if I just focus on posting content.
With
And
training?
yeah,
Damn, that's crazy. Is it?
That's what they're
You think
saying.
his
They've
trainer's
had
making
people
10
do it.
mil a year?
I don't think there's individual trainers that are doing 10 mil a year, like just from training. I think it's probably
Mm-hmm.
like because like you hear social media creators and it's like they don't Instagram doesn't pay like anything. Like most of these places don't pay anything. They're getting 90% of their income from brand deals.
Mm-hmm.
But well, I don't know if I can fuck it. They have an they have a portfolio company that sells weight
Mm-hmm.
loss
Mm-hmm.
that closes at they have $8,000 for 3 months. That's like their pricing ticket. I don't know what they do after that to like keep them in it. Basically, their big thing is like you have a product of an intro product. You have like three different products, like low tier, mid tier, high tier, and you try and just like high tier is like over the top but so expensive. Low tier is like low value, and you just try and like McDonald's uses, where you like
Mm-hmm.
just get the middle thing. So they use that, and the middle price is 8,000. They close at 80% is the like closing rate, like 75, 80%. And so like they run these ads, they get people to book, and their thing is the day before the call, they cancel all the meetings. They go into the
Really?
calendar and cancel all the calls.
Yeah. And
And
see who
then
reaches
people
back out type
and
shit.
see who is like, yo, like why the fuck did you cancel this call? And then they're like,
Yeah.
well, you're already like verified now that you want it. And then the
That
people
you
that don't
want it.
reach out, they
Yeah.
just don't care. I thought that was
Yeah.
so like it's such a smart like sales
That
tactic.
is a great fucking idea. I'm gonna do
Yeah,
that when I start interviewing like clients and stuff or employee like prospective employees or anything. Anybody that wants to collaborate with me, like the day before, night before, cancel that bitch and then see if they follow up. That's a
dude,
hundred
it was
percent a
so
great way to do
smart. I
that.
didn't think I
Yeah.
can't believe like that's just such a smart idea. And they're closing at 80%. Like I don't know how many people they're pulling through, but I know they're doing like 30 million a year.
Man, we over
Same
scrambling for pennies.
same with
That's
the
nuts.
moves method, that Instagram account I sent you. They have like the
Hmm.
I don't even know how much it is a month, but it's like less. It's like $50, $47 a month, I think. And he said that they're doing. His thing was sales. They have like so many new sales guys, and they're trying to figure out like their top guys are doing closing at 40%. The bottom ones are closing like below 10. And Alex's advice was just like get better sales training. But this guy was doing $33 million a year in revenue, and one of the other dudes, you've definitely seen this guy. His name's Benson, who works there. He like Alex. They needed a sales guy to like
Hmm.
teach sales or like handle the sales of the acquisition of the portfolio companies. And this guy's Benson. Him and his two brothers started like a fitness coaching thing, but um, like 3 or 4 years ago, they gave the guy that's doing 33 million. He gave his last 2 grand to Benson and his brothers to help him scale. And in like
Yeah.
4 years, they're doing $33 million
Damn.
a year in revenue.
That's crazy.
Um, I usually have a bunch of topics picked out before we do these, but I didn't.
Now you're good.
Um, the but I have been listening to this podcast. I listened to it yesterday, and I thought it
Hmm.
was super interesting, especially because you just went to China.
Yeah.
Um, they said so. It was about Taiwan because I guess China was
Hmm.
supposed to like take over Taiwan in 2027. That's like their stick.
Really.
And yeah, and they were talking about like what's going to happen to the world and America on either like whether they take it or not.
Hmm.
But I don't know, it just sounded super scary because it's like
Fear mongering.
yeah, dude,
What were they
like
saying?
they were saying that Taiwan, Taiwan produces all the chips, like basically for the
Yeah.
world, computer chips. Taiwan also imports 90% of their energy that they run on.
Mm.
So like they import it in. So all China has to do is literally take warships and just put it around I think Taiwan's like an island.
Yeah.
And all they have to do is put it around it and get no fuel or
Mm.
food or rations in and out, and then they basically take over it. Um, And what it kind of means for America would be if China takes it and America does nothing, essentially signals to the world that uh China's like top dog. And that
Yeah,
would further increase like the BRICS thing where they're trying to like devalue the US dollar and get it on like
yeah,
another system. So it basically would crash our economy because we're in debt. We're like $32 trillion in debt. And we print money because we know that other like everyone uses American dollars. So you just like you can print it and like send it overseas and funnel it
mhm,
out. And we basically can stay in this debt thing. But if it switches and the US dollar isn't like the main currency in the world, we're going to be in a lot of trouble.
yeah, because we won't have
And
the leverage anymore.
they were saying that China is basically preparing for war. Uh, there's a China legally has a legality thing where any ship that's made, even if it's like some white dude that's drunk as fuck or some
Hmm.
Chinese dude that's drunk as fuck out there fishing, like it has to be able to uh I think after a certain size, it has to be able to land and carry like tanks and shit and land and all the big cargo ships they have to be able to land planes on them. You have to be able to like it has to be able to be turned into a war machine. So this is like a huge problem for
Yeah.
America because China has like all these they have like 10 times the amount of maybe even more 100 times the amount of like war machines on naval fleet. And that's kind of like the biggest thing in war is kind of like the I guess the water based stuff.
Hmm.
So I don't know what's gonna happen. It's basically like if 2027 could be a very rough year because if they do take it and we do go into it, we're looking at possible like you know World
Or
War III or we
imagine a
just
war with
start
China. That'd be insane. That's something I usually you hear like it's oil or gas. Like a Middle Eastern country is the wars that we've all heard with the U.S. But like
yeah.
China, I feel like that's a high tech, advanced, infiltrative like war that wouldn't end well for anybody.
And China has like I think they have like 70% of the world's corn stored up.
Mm,
They have a bunch of you can't American can't buy land in China, but China owns a bunch of
yeah,
land in
in the
America.
U.S. Really?
Yes, a lot of land. A lot of land around farming, a lot of land around our military bases. They own a lot of land here. They have a lot of spies that have been coming out of like DC, like politicians that are married to spies that don't even know. People in all that they like
That's crazy. I was thinking about that shit too. Like, imagine if you're a whole spy and like your job is literally for a set amount of years to like go to a country and like fall in love. I would be a great spy, bro. I would be a elite spy. I think I could like really go to like a foreign country right now and like if I went to China right now, I mean, never mind. We're not even gonna speak on it, but I feel like I'd be a good spy. Really, just play the part. Like this is my job. If I had that much love for like a country or like a nation, that would be cool. But I'm sure there's more people like me out there that definitely have that mindset where it's like, all right. But then it's like, what are you living for? You can't really have a real family. You're just getting paid. What are the benefits of it long term?
it's just like if I would live in a different country, like as
Hmm.
my residence.
I
I don't think
100% would. Now that I've been to China, bro, life, it might
what?
not be the same, bro. It might not be the same life that you're living here in the States, but it's different, but it's not better per se, but it's just like different. Life in China is really freaking like cool and you just get to experience so much more that you wouldn't experience here in the States. And it's kind of liberating not being here, to be honest with you. Like I don't know. I really enjoyed being out there in China, bro. I was like starting to think of like, all right, next year could I stay there for 3 months or like could I make and it's because I'm business focused. Like I'm a very entrepreneurial person. I don't know if you're a regular person, if like going to somewhere like China or moving out of the United States would be optimal. But if a certain resource or a certain lifestyle or a certain mindset or mentality is more accommodating in a specific country and you're closer to the action, then that's what makes it cooler. Like if you were in China, bro, you would literally go to the factory and see where your medicine balls are made. Like you could go to the different cities and be like, all right, this is where we're gonna get this like screw. This is where we're gonna get this padded material, and like it just takes what you're spending all this time on here in the States with messaging and calls and stuff, and it condenses it into such a much faster period. And you realize the capabilities of what you're able to make. Like you would think much bigger than the medicine balls. Because I was thinking like, all right, I'm gonna go to China, meet my manufacturers, see how the clothes are made. But I'm like, I could literally make a whole like I can make a LVMH of they. Like there's nothing that I can't make. I realize like this is where everything is happening. Like there isn't any, especially with the internet, there aren't any more like unknown unknowns. If you really want to know, you just search it, or you go to China and they show you how they make like suitcases. They show you how they make shoes. Like it's not some magical factory that you don't have access to. If I wanted to make the next pair of they sneakers that the world would wear, it's not something that just those big conglomerate companies could do. Me as a small little bootstrap startup, like I could make my own shoes if I wanted to.
That is the cool
That's what
aspect of it.
Yeah, that's what I
Like
liked about China.
when I was talking to the dude from Shark Tank that had like that travel cable machine, he was saying the same
Yeah.
thing. Like, and it kind of makes sense. Like, I don't know. Did you listen to like the interview with Putin and Tucker Carlson a couple months ago, maybe a
Mm-mm.
year ago?
Mm-mm.
Putin was like, Americans think this way of Russia because of propaganda. Like when you think of
Yep.
propaganda, you think of Russia and China, but like we don't look like we don't have like everyone has nuclear warheads, but like do you really think that we just have them aimed at the US and it's like my fingers over the button every morning? Like
It's not
like
like that.
it's just like kind of propaganda from the US to like also it goes both ways. And
Yeah.
so talking to the dude from Shark Tank, he was like, there's a lot of propaganda about China stealing all your ideas and redoing it, but it's like
They don't
people do
need your
that in the
ideas,
U.S.
bruh.
too, and
Yeah.
they don't need them. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's there's a billion people there, over a billion people. Like there's enough things to go around. My thing with China that they were talking on this podcast is about that like the the thing about they were saying that like if you're jaywalking, say like you're not supposed to be walking across the street and you're walking across
Hmm.
the street, they have cameras there with facial recognition that will
Yeah.
basically pull up. They have your phone, they have your bank accounts, everything's linked to the
Yeah.
government. So as you're walking across, you're losing money. They're pulling it out of your bank account. Same with speeding. They can track the distance and the speed. And if you're going over the speed limit, they have like these billboards, they said, that
Hmm.
show up and it'll show your name, license plate, and it's just like showing that you're losing money from speeding.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that shit when you were out there, but
I realized it because like everything is connected to WeChat. WeChat has all of your bank information, Alipay, WeChat. Like everything is through one app. Like if you want to order food, if you want to call an Uber, if you want to use your directions, to the point where like you're at the red light and you're on your Google Maps, which is on WeChat, and you can see how many seconds are left until the light turns green, like because the government is controlling everything. And I'm like, I kind of like that level of autonomy in terms of like everything is interconnected, but I can see how it would also be a detriment to some people too, because it's like you don't you I don't know, bruh, because a lot of bureaucracy is the reason why the US is the way that it is. Like there's so many like loopholes and hurdles and things that you have to do, which is beneficial to people that are gaming the system, but then at the same time it's like we just don't you want to live in an advanced society where like everything is optimized per se, like the less you have to worry about things, the more you can focus on like innovation. Like in China, bro, they have self-driving cars that would make Waymo look like a 2002 Toyota Corolla, bro. Like, bro, the cars, those streets in China are like not great streets like here in the U.S., but those cars that are $30,000 BYD cars drive, stop, park, like parallel, come pick you up, bro. They do everything, and they're like the price point of it is crazy, but because of U.S. tariffs on Chinese cars, like we would never see those cars here in the United States. We get stuck with the Teslas and the Waymos. But yeah, it's insane, bro. Those cars in China are insane. It's ridiculous.
what do you mean by the roads? The roads are shitty?
It's not like a super developed country. So like Guangzhou, where I was in, like people don't follow the regular rules of like, all right, let me stay behind this person. You have like the little like motorcycles and stuff, and people. It's a lot of delivery service people there. So like everybody's just kind of like fending for themselves on the road, as opposed to here in the States, like you wait behind somebody, like if they're moving slow, you honk at them, you get in the next lane, you stare at them, but like everybody's just kind of fending for themselves. It's a foreign country, like it's kind of foreign country vibes on the road type deal. But those cars still were performing really well even in those conditions. So and you can get everywhere. That's another thing. The way that the U.S. works with Ford and all these American car companies and GM, like they don't want there to be a cross country rail system. I could get to anywhere in China within 3 to 8 hours on a rail system, and it makes it so much easier to do business and to barter and stuff like that. Because like if I could get from DC to China in a weekend on a train as opposed to getting on a plane going to the airport, like imagine how much more I could do with my business and with my life. Like there's young people when I was in China, they told me that like young people would get on a train and on Friday afternoon and go to like the equivalent of going to California for the weekend, and then they'll get on that train coming back Sunday and be ready to go to school or go to work on Monday. And it's like it's crazy.
Going to California from DC?
Yeah, literally like cross country
What?
train. Yeah, bro, like the trains go all. I was on a train ride that took me from Guangzhou to Nanchang, and like that is a drive of 8 hours, but on the train it took me high speed train. It took me four and a half hours or so, and I got to meet my manufacturers and be in a whole new city and stuff like that. So, but the U.S. would never allow that because of big auto. It's
It's
dumb.
just like I was looking at actually today in 5 hours I'm driving to the Grand Canyon
Really.
to go hike it, and I was like, where there's no trains here. There's no trains. I mean, Vegas is like kind of like just who the fuck cares about it? It's like in the middle
Yeah.
of nowhere. But like the public transportation here is just terrible.
Really.
It's just like there's I mean it's just in America in general. It's like there's no I don't understand how there's no trains where it's like Japan, China, same with like when I was backpacking Europe. Like I could take a train anywhere. I never
Anywhere,
needed a
bro.
car. Never needed. I went to
Anywhere.
15 countries and I never needed one car. And it's
Yeah, it's
like
crazy.
a bus
I
or
want to get
train
out
is
the
just super
U.S. I'm not
easy.
gonna lie. I want to see if I can get somebody to come run this back end of the brand here in Maryland for me, and then like I just want to go. I want to go back to China for sure. I want to go to like somewhere in a Spanish speaking country, like probably Medellin. And I also want to go to Bali. Like, I want to see if I could live in Bali for a little bit. Because when I was in China, a lot of those people that are making their money live in Bali. And they were just coming to China just to like meet their manufacturers and stuff like that. But like, they all do consulting or they do some type of work where they're the middleman between the people that need the service and the manufacturers in China. So it's like, I don't know, bro. Like, being in China really opened my eyes to a lot of stuff. And another thing that I realized was like, I'm one of few people that would take this trip to go to China and like see this stuff. There's a host of people that have businesses that probably make more money than mine that have never talked to their manufacturers in person or don't even know what the factories look like. So like I feel like I could host especially black people too. Like black people gonna go to China for like I could definitely host like an activation where people pay me a set amount of money and I plan their whole trip to China from like I know the right hotel to stay in. I know the process to get your visa. I book the flights for them. I'm the tour guide, and then I'll literally will talk to the factories, and I'm like, hey, I know you want service. I know you want more people to what you call it to work with you guys. Like if you guys offer me a discount or you pay me. I will have a factory tour and I will bring people to your factories that are gonna buy your services and stuff like that. Cause like all these manufacturers, they're not some big conglomerate, bro. They're honestly a lot of them are mom and pops. Alibaba is like 10 years old. I didn't even realize that, but a lot of my manufacturers, I'm talking to them and I'm like, when did you guys get this factory? And they were like, we made money doing this one thing, and then Alibaba's the Amazon of China, dead ass. Like, bro, most of those manufacturers, when they really blew up, was because Alibaba made it so accessible for people to sell that what they already had access to in China to the rest of the world. So like a lot of the factories are exactly 10 years old because in 2016, when I was a senior in high school, that's when Alibaba became like a thing and it started to become more popular. Yeah, nah. It might be a little bit older, but like it really blew up. They're all 10 years old. All the factories are telling me like we're about 10 years old type shit. And I'm like, why are all these factories the same age? And it's because of Alibaba, and that's what has allowed them to expand the way that they have. So I'm like, these folks just want more business, and the best way to do it is to like have already qualified leads, and they pay a lot for those qualified leads. So I feel like I could run my business at a steep discount or for free, or even subsidize my own personal income just by being the middleman between what I've already amassed, the knowledge that I've gained over the last 6 years, and the people that need it.
I mean, when I ran the numbers a year ago for
Yeah,
manufacturing my medicine ball in America, it was like 10x the
really.
cost that it would be to manufacture it out of China. It's just insane. There's like
Yeah, the
no,
price
we
differential
we
is
just
just
don't know how to build shit here. That's another thing with
yeah.
like if we went to war with China, like America was killing it in World War II because we could print out a fucking warship in a week. We could print out
Hmm.
an airplane every like 10 minutes. Whereas China, it's like we're like we've kind of like gone away from that and just started importing everything. Where China like actually makes everything.
Yeah,
My thing
it's
with like
crazy.
living in America is I like knowing. I mean, I don't know everything, but I like knowing the legal system and just if something happens, like I'm white
You're good, yeah,
and
and you can finesse.
yeah, like I don't know. I feel like more comfortable in this place than I think it's just like in China, it's just like the worst case is what I think about. I probably just need to rip the band off and go out there. But I just like think of
It's
like
safer in
Jack
China than
Ma
here.
just like saying one thing about the president and like you just
Somebody
disappear for a
snatching
few
you up.
months. Yeah. But I'm like, dude, fucking nobody. Like they're
Yeah,
not
it
gonna
don't even be
fucking
like that because those folks want you to come to the country and like they want to make sure that you're like bartering and like using their services and things of that nature. So like when I was in China, bro, I felt safer than I ever have ever in Maryland or ever anywhere else. Like I literally was just in the middle of the street at 12 o'clock at night, the clean streets, like silent, no homeless people, no nothing. Like it was just quiet. Nobody jumping and making loud noises and stuff like that. Everybody just minding their business. It's like it felt like I was just in a peaceful place. And then you go to the bar and it's like, all right, the bar over there is where people like inside of it, that's where they have loud music and stuff like that. But like it's super safe. And I wasn't
go
even
into
in
the
the super
bar.
nice part. Yeah, I did. I went out to like this what'd you call it? This art hip hop and R&B bar. It was low key jumping in there. They weren't trying to let me in. I was like, fuck you mean you're not gonna let me in? I know somebody in there. And then they let me in.
Were they playing
But
American music?
yeah, there was a dude that was the MC singing all the songs, and he was up on the speaker, and like everybody there, it's so funny because they didn't speak a lick of English, but they knew the songs verbatim. So like they're singing all these songs, these top 40 songs, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? And they're like, they're looking at me like, what? And then I realized like we be singing a lot of foreign songs too that are popular, like
True.
Spanish songs that we don't know what the fuck we're saying for us. You know, those folks are just dancing and singing. They didn't know a damn thing.
I don't know what the fuck Bad Bunny says, but
The
yeah.
motherfuckers be singing. Me too, bro. I don't be knowing what he be saying, but that shit be sounding good, and I be memorizing the lyrics. So you gotta
Yeah,
go,
it's crazy. I
definitely.
need to go. I'm gonna go. I wouldn't go alone. Honestly, I'd go. I would go the next time you go. If
Yeah, I'm
once
gonna
you're
go to
gone for three
Canton Fair
months.
next year for a month, so you can
For a
definitely
month.
slide. Yeah, I want to stay in China for a month next year. Telling you, I loved it out there. That shit was nice.
How's the how's the content game going for you? Like, what do you
Mm.
what views do you average?
On my personal content, I'll get anywhere from like two to 5,000 views. If I'm making like regular me content, if I'm going for virality, I'll get 10K plus type deal. But I lose a little bit of my soul when I do that. So for me, I think my content strategy right now, I really don't have one for real. But what I did realize is that I'm not talking enough about the products and my business. Like I need to like over explain a lot of things. Cause like my closest friends came to my event yesterday and they were like, bro, I like this shirt. Or like they'd be like, bro, when did you drop these shorts? Shorts that have been on my site for like weeks or like months. And I'm like, if my closest friends don't know about this, it means I'm not doing a good enough job like marketing it and posting it type deal. And because I live in a microcosm that is my business, I think that like when the manufacturer drops something off from China to my studio, everybody already knows about it. Everybody's has the tracking number. But like unless I post it or I make content about it, nobody knows and nobody gives a fuck. So I need to start talking about a lot of shit more and putting more meaning to a lot of the shit that we have in here. Because like we have the audience by now. I've been doing this shit for 6 years. It's a matter of just like getting people to like be consumers and purchase the products that we have. And I need to like start working with influencers very intentionally, like UGC and like micro influencers on social media as well. So I've been kind of sourcing different UGC creators. I'm about to like make a program for them and like see if we can build out something worthwhile where they
You
can just
know,
push
like
the brand.
that's kind of what they were saying at the workshop too. They were saying like you have high information buyers and low information buyers, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
like it's kind of like how risk, like what people's risk appetite is, like how much they need to know
Mm-hmm.
before or after. Um,
And close is so
and
low. You don't need a big risk appetite for close.
yeah,
So people
but
should
they're
just be
like
buying the shit.
their advice to me was like most coaches sell like everyone knows like what creatine is, but instead
Hmm.
like you need to teach people like they've never heard of it.
Mm,
And like a lot of us, have been in like you've been in this game for 6 years, and so it's like
yeah. I'm thinking
you just
everybody
kind
knows
of
what I know.
assume that people like know
Yeah.
everything, and it's just like you have to constantly push like low information out to like the low information buyers, and
Yeah.
their lead also their like lead nurture thing was like someone that comes into like clicks on your ad or like
Hmm.
something like that. Their thing is they do like 3 days of case studies. So it's
Hmm.
like if it's an email follow up, case studies, prove her results, and then 7 days of facts, questions, and answers, and then just 30 days of value.
You'll have to send me that because I think that's
Yeah, I'll send you. I took pictures of all my. They don't let you use any technology while you're in there. You have to use
mm,
all handwritten notes. So they said it's. I don't know. They said it's better for retention, but they also said they use Social Cap
hmm,
for to get influencers for marketing.
yeah. Social
Um,
cap.
Social Cap, yeah,
Okay.
and they like for they call it like the avatar, like your target customer. Like you want to be super precise of what do they do for work, what's their gender, what's their age, and I mean, I don't know, do you listen to Don't Be Sour, that Max Tuning podcast with Christian
Yeah, I'll
Owner?
listen to the ones. I listen to a couple of them here and there where they like actually aren't talking about life shit, more so business stuff.
Yeah, I like when Christian doesn't talk. He's like the one that talks the least, and I want to
He
hear from
stopped
him the
talking.
most.
I
I
think he got
know.
like something happened where he had to like kind of pull back because now like he purposely is like shaking his
He
head,
doesn't
like
say
doing that and this.
shit, bro.
But those older episodes, bro, he used to be giving everything
All the
away. I used to
information.
be
I was
taking,
like,
I
dude,
used to be taking notes
same.
like a motherfucker, bro.
He
He
doesn't say
literally said
shit.
bar for bar what his business was making every single year, how terrible
Literally.
the profit margins were, and I was like, oh, this is a mistake.
I think he's just going through it. He keeps talking about the tariffs. Like I think he's like
Yeah.
really getting spanked by the tariffs.
Yeah,
But
because I'm sure they're not going to make a profit in the business for at least another year. Imagine if you're running your business for fun and you know that you're not going to make a profit for, because they've already ordered everything for their company for the next year, more than likely. So it's like, I know those tariffs are whooping them.
I think he said he's 16 or 18 months out on orders. And
That's
so
terrible.
like he hasn't done any price jumps, doesn't want to, and and his thing with the gym, like they said before, is like the gym is basically like break even, like
Yeah,
as most gyms are, that are
yeah.
like not like class and service based. So most of his money is coming from the apparel and like
Hmm. That's why
supplements in 3D.
he's pushing so hard on fucking what is he pushing hard on? That's the energy drink because he feels like
3D.
he'll be able to have an
Yeah.
exit that's similar to Max where he'll just be able to finesse and get up out of there and like that'll be I honestly feel like 3D if he can get the distribution because all of those energy drinks there's nothing different about any of those companies like it's his personal brand
It's just
mixed
branding.
with mixed with distribution and if he can get distribution and get this use the same clout that Christian that Max used which he should be able to bro he's much more popular than Max is but like he's not as smart strategically as Max is like Max is a very like A to B to C Christian is kind of like big grandiose entrepreneur like let's do all these big things type deal so I
Yeah.
hope that he's able to continue to build 3D and sell it for a big payday that'd be great for him.
I, the Max thing surprised me, bro. I didn't like realize he was running it like that. Like $100 million exit was just like insane. I'm like, people really buy this fucking candy that much? Like,
He made candy for influencers for fitness influencers nobody else was doing that and candy is such a old what you call it an old space that like I don't know he finessed that's the biggest finesse ever.
are you big on Facebook with they?
No, but like I know I'm realizing now like I need to make a Facebook group, like a group that people can join. I need to start posting all our content on Facebook is from Instagram asking me if I want to share on Facebook as well, but like I need to like really
Gotta
start honing in
post it
on Facebook.
directly.
Yeah.
Maybe even hire like a virtual assistant or something.
You think
Line it
so?
up.
What makes
Yeah.
you say that though?
To what? Do the virtual assistant?
No, to work with like to what do you feel like is the importance of Facebook? Do you feel like you got some insight?
Because Facebook has 1 billion monthly users,
Hmm.
active monthly users. Like,
Yeah, that's insane.
it's massive, and
Yeah,
because it's older and like everyone's like on this TikTok shit, like it's being underutilized. Like,
yeah.
um, I was talking to the guy, the video creator. Like, I was just DMing him, like he built Gary V's audience, built the Hermosi's audience, and he was like, Gary V is pushing Facebook. All four of the people that were on the sales and social media side were all pushing Facebook. And they're
Hmm.
like, this is one of the tips they gave is make a Facebook group and um, start a lottery with like the people. If you have an email list or Instagram, just like start a lottery. Say you have to join the Facebook group and turn on notifications, and you'll enter in a
Hmm.
lottery to get like a $500 gift card as an incentive to join. So like get them in the
Yeah.
group and have them turn notifications on, and so that way you just like you have a thing where you could just like pop in, and it's like besides email, like it's a very specific like group that's like a community.
Yeah. I know I
They
need
were
to double
huge on
down on
that.
Facebook. Yeah, I need to make a Facebook group because there's certain brands that are doing Facebook groups really well. Like Dad Gang, the makes the hats. They have a
Yep.
really good Facebook group where you join it and people are like posting themselves wearing the gear. And then I could just farm all of that content that people are making because people will tag they on Instagram, but those are 24-hour posts or like they'll send me a picture through email. But if I could just have a Facebook group where like the same way that all these people every They Wednesday make it a thing where you're on the Facebook group, like anytime you get a new package and shit like that, push it. And even if you have concerns with product or anything like that, put it in there so I can kind of get feedback. Like that'd be super helpful for the business overall. So I'm definitely gonna run that.
Like that's your main
Yeah.
vehicle for ads anyways. I would definitely that would be my advice that I took away from the workshop is I took like two things away. The Facebook thing and then just knowing the data of the business
Hmm.
and like tracking it
Yeah.
like every day or every week because that's how you know the data is like going to tell you like what is the most important shit that you need to focus on.
Yeah, that's facts. I'm about to make a Facebook group right now.
And then like asking their thing was like to figure out data like on your avatar like some incentivization, some incentive to like figure out like to ask them four questions. They call it like the cost. Like how much is too cheap? What price is a good cost? Like what is too expensive for the offer? And like figuring out like, the price point of stuff.
Mhm.
Um you don't have any employees, right?
Nah, I'm looking to hire some folks for the fall, but like foot soldiers. I just need people like posted up selling clothes. There's actually like I was walking out of the gym today and there's this brand called Bloodline Apparel. And like I've seen these folks in so many, every time I leave Kava, Gold's Gym, they just be posted up at a 7-Eleven selling apparel. And I was just asking them questions. I'm like, they look like 14-year-old kids. And I'm like, is this y'all brand? And they're like, nah, it's our cousin's brand. And I'm like, so he pays y'all to be out here? He's like, yeah. And like they literally have 20 cousins. 20 cousins that are all around the DMV that like will post up every day and sell apparel. And it's like they had a shopping cart and all the clothes were in like folded up in plastic bags. And I'm like, this presentation, it was like on some like, you want to buy our Girl Scouts? Like people were just like avoiding them or like other like black people were like, oh yeah, tell me about your brand. I like that y'all are out here hustling and stuff like that. But I'm like, if you could do that model, but like put my brand, have a nice table, have a nice layout, and like have it be presentable, I'm like, you can make a killing. I can make a killing with the brand doing this, and like it's low labor work where you just have to post up, take payments, and be engaged with the people that come to and from the establishment. But I'm like, I need like 15 to 18-year-old kids to just real life be all over the DMV with our vase shorts and our shirts selling it because people already know about the brand pretty well. It's just a matter of getting it in front of more people and like bartering and just so I'm really thinking of like, all right, how can I get a team of 20 people that I can just get in and have them sell apparel for me for the whole summer from now until September for real.
Makes a lot of sense. Man, that seems like a huge I, shopping cart doesn't. I mean, it doesn't sound like you have to like
It
get
looks so
like.
janky, bruh. It looks so janky. The way that they were selling it out of Ziploc bags. And I'm like, there's a way that you do pop-ups, from my experience. And I'm like, you could do this way better. And they said that they sell about 10 items a day. I'm like, all right, if I have 20 people selling 10 items, that's literally 200 items at a $50 cost, at a $50 price point. And then the margins make sense where I could pay them pretty well too. So I'm gonna look into it.
What were they getting paid on sales or?
They didn't tell me too much info because I was like, would y'all ever want to like work with another brand? And they looked at me and it was like, nah, I gotta stay loyal. Like they was taking it real seriously, but they just told me they sell about 10 items a day type deal. They left it at that. They didn't give me too much other info outside of that. But I'm sure he cuts them off a little bit. He cuts them off something. They sell the shirts for like 30, 35 or something like that. So nothing too crazy. But
The founder? Did you look up the founder?
nah, I'm gonna DM him today, Instagram, and see if
Did you
he'll
listen to that? Did you listen to the podcast on MFM?
the recent one, the dude from Bucky's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to his website and everything. I was looking through it. It's called Texas Snacks. They changed the name of it from Beaver Snacks to Texas Snacks. And I'm like, damn, that's
That
insane.
shit pissed me off.
But bro, an opportunity though is like Bucky's is growing more and more. You could really white label like a lot of these Bucky's products. The dudes that I met, I don't know if I told you this, but on my way to China, I met two like young looking dudes that were like around my age, and they were like just goofing around with the flight attendant. And I talked to him, and I'm like, "Why are you here?" And one of the dudes, he white labels products for Bucky's, so he'll go to China and buy generic AirPods, and he'll sell 10,000 of them to Bucky's. And like he's a registered vendor for like Bucky's and a whole bunch of other like gas station businesses, and that's literally how he makes all of his money, like hats, apparel, AirPods, all the way like phone chargers, the cheap phone chargers that you see. Like he'll literally like go to Canton Fair, sit at the table with the manufacturers. They'll show him all the different types of like white labeled products, and then they'll slap whatever logo or brand on there, or just sell them as is.
Business shit. Like I heard that podcast and I was like,
Yeah,
I don't understand. Like,
but they make it. You are like just like he was saying. Like it's one of those things where, oh, this is so easy. You could start this tomorrow. But once you get into it, you realize how much headache is in it. Like if your container doesn't ship and Bucky's isn't paying you on time, and like you have net 60 payment terms, but you have to pay for the product up front and you're financing it and your manufacturers are fronting you some of the inventory. But like there's so many things that happen within the business that you don't see. Just like you building your business and me building my business. I'm sure people think that this shit is all fun and candy and rainbows, but like this shit kind of sucks. So this
I
is
think
what
just
it is.
being on social media, like I want to get to the like I'm so early on it, but I just eventually want to get to the point where I don't even have to be on it. Like I don't have to
Me
like
too, because I
be
hate it.
posting all the shit on it. Like I feel like it's a net negative in my
Yeah, there's so many businesses that
headspace.
thrive without posting on social.
But it's like I'm
Yeah,
getting
me.
clients from it. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
I know if I can just keep scaling, like I can keep getting clients through it.
Damn, my nose is gushing.
Oh my God, bro. That happens to me literally every day. It's so fucking dry out here.
It's so random.
When
That's
are
how
you
you
still
know he's
moving to
dropping
Buffalo?
bars.
Are you still going to
Yeah,
Buffalo?
I'm moving and I think I'll be here for August for a couple of events, and then I'm gonna move. Damn, I'm gonna move in September because we have a lot of shit planned. We're potentially collaborating with the Bills on a collection. That'll be a big deal. We have like a Mafia Con, which is like Comic Con, but for the Bills Mafia on July the 19th and shit. Damn, gosh.
Like Buffalo is signing off on that?
Yeah, I got in contact with their marketing. They want to work with us because Buffalo's hella cool, bro. It's like these big organizations. It's really just who you know, and top players on the team. Everybody loves him, so it's his brand in their eyes. So they're down to do whatever. Yeah,
It's
Jesus
actually really
Christ.
hype.
Yeah,
Are
I'm
you gonna
excited.
like,
If we
and
can,
you'll be able to go to a fucking game every Sunday
yeah,
or
we
the
every
home one?
the first Sunday of every month is a home game. So like we have Ravens, we have Chiefs, we have like the schedule is like off Buffalo, Bills Mafia lore alone, just tapping in. I could literally say fuck everything and just focus on Bills Mafia this from August until January, and I could probably make $1 million just off of like Bills Mafia shit. So like I'm thinking like, all right, how can I sprinkle this? Nah, but I'm gonna like 50-50%. Like 50% like what the brand is, 50% like let's just lean as far deep into this shit as we can right now and like really squeeze this juice dry because you don't get opportunities like this. You know
Why
what I
don't you just
mean?
go all in it for the fucking football season? Like
Because
all you make is bills.
all your resources is bill shit. Because then like after the season it's like we'll make a lot of money, but it's kind of like going viral on TikTok. You know what I mean? Like you go viral, you make a shit ton of money, you look like you're smart and a genius, you're having fun flexing, and then like the year after you're
Brand
like, yeah, the
diminishes
brand
because of
tanks,
it.
and all the work that I've done the last 6 years just goes to shit because of a decision that I made. You know, so I feel like there's a strategic way that I can do it, where I can leverage this build shit to really make the brand look legit, and then continue to push what I'm trying to do with the brand long term. Cause I thought
Would
about
you
it.
would you just make bills stuff, or would you make opposing teams
We
stuff
already
too?
have opposing team things, but if we make this build shit and it does really well, then the other teams will see the stuff that we've already made. Like the Commander shit will start to get more traction, and like the Raven shit will start to get more traction and shit like that too. Because like Ty is affiliated with the Bills, but the brand isn't directly. We serve whoever's down to fuck with our products and shit like that. So whatever fan bases and teams really fuck with us is who we're gonna rock with. And it's more so like Ty is the person that is affiliated with the brand, not the Bills. So it's like Ty is a really good person that exemplifies what it is to be a member of our brand. So like we're gonna spotlight him, just like the brand spotlights me when I run a marathon or like anybody else.
Does his manifest stuff do well?
It's starting to pick up a lot more traction. Like people are fucking with it. Ty just needs to do a better job with like deciding if he really wants to have his own brand, because it's like it's a lot of work. It's cool to like have ideas and come up with designs and stuff, but like you gotta like sell. And Ty is not a salesman. Like that's not his thing. He plays football, and he recognizes that. He understands that too. Like every time we talk, he's like, yeah, I know I should be pushing this more. I know I should be like coming up with more ideas and stuff like that. So I try to help him here and there, but at the end of the day, I'm like, the brand will live and die by him. So I would be doing him a disservice by like coming in and saving the day, because I'm already doing all this shit with Bay as it is. So
Already making money. Like he's already
yeah,
making
he's
money
making
from
good
the
bread.
NFL.
You know.
So it's
Yeah.
like he's not in that scarcity shit where he has
Yeah,
to
he's not. Yeah,
focus on
well, me,
that.
I'm like, we gotta fucking sell these fucking clothes. But the Bay shit could quite literally like triple whatever he's made in his career in the NFL. That's why I'm like, we got to strike this iron while it's hot, bro. Like I've seen this movie before. I've seen plenty of founders have like a friend that is very well connected, and they like utilize them and leverage them for a lot of things that end up being very beneficial to both of them in the future. So I'm like, I've seen this. I know the blueprint. I think Under Armour did the exact same thing. Like I see how we can kind of take this and run it up. So I'm trying to just continue to do that.
Are you gonna like film content and run ads just for bills people? Or
Yeah,
is just
yeah. I'm gonna try to get some of his teammates to fuck with us too. I know a good amount of them. They're pretty cool. But yeah, I'm gonna see if I can really just take over that city in terms of there's not really any other like brand like ours that is like well known, but there's cult brands in Buffalo. Like there's this girl named Bleach by Abigail. 24/7 365 the whole year, her whole personality is being a diehard Bills fan, and like she appeals to like all of those like aesthetic girls that like are cute, that are moms in their 30s to 40s that want to like wear a cute game day fit or want like cute little merchandise, but it's only Bills. Like everything is Bills related, her whole personality. And like she has a really big following, and she makes a decent amount of income, I can tell, from just doing that. So I'm like, if she can do it, I think that I can come in and we can make it cool for like guys and like for people who don't want to be kind of cringe with the shit,
think
you
you
know,
could
like
get
every
Josh
single one of her
Allen to
posts.
wear a tee?
Yeah, I definitely think so. But it would have to be like, all right, Ty, this is the plan. A month prior, like we have this plan set up. Like this is the one time you ask Josh, like, can you do me a favor? Because you can't just be asking Josh for favors all day, every day. Like, but
Yeah,
you can get one favor from him. So like, I want to make sure that we pull
capitalize
that
on that
card,
shit.
yeah, when it's the most important. So we'll probably pull it this year though, for sure. This will be the
Seems like a
year.
play.
Yeah, I still got to
Is he?
brainstorm on what it'll be though.
That's exciting.
Yeah. And I love Buffalo. It's so cool up there.
I've never been,
The
but I
folks are
mean,
nice.
when I think of the craziest fan bases, like they're definitely number one
That's them 100%.
in like a
Them
good
folks
way.
go
It's not like
insane.
Philadelphia where it's just like
People are
you guys
mean
just
and rude
fuck
and all types.
everything up.
Yeah, them Buffalo fans are nice as hell, bro. They're cool. They go crazy. Like that whole city is like dedicated to Bills shit. And I look like Ty's teammate, so everywhere I go, people think that I'm on the team. And they be asking me like, we went line dancing the other day, and like the security guy came up and talked to Ty because Ty goes line dancing a lot, and he was like, he was talking to Ty, and he looked at me, and he was like, "Hey, what up, Ray?" And I was like, "What's good?" We got this thing where I like we've talked about it already. We're like, this season I'm gonna act like I'm Ray wherever we go. Like if people think I'm Ray, I'm just gonna roll with it. So he's like, "What up, Ray?" And I'm like, "What's good, bro?" He's like, he wanted to say hello to you. And then the dude came up to me like, "How you doing, brother?" He shook my hand like, "It's so good to have you here." And I'm like, "Yeah, thank you." I'm like, "Yeah, thank you."
Might as well keep it
Just
running,
fucking with
bro.
him. Yeah, I'm just a running joke, bro. And I've met Ray a few times, and he looked at me like, "Bro, why do we look alike?" So I'm gonna see if he can make a campaign with me where like we just have a series where like he goes to different places and I'm acting like I'm him, and then once I see him, I start running or something funny like that. That'd be hilarious. The fans would eat that shit up too.
Do you have to like? I mean, do you have all this clothes made, or do you have to like put in this order? Like, how far
I have
out?
to I have to put in the order. The good thing is I have a printer who can make the shirts for me like with a 2 week notice. So like I'm not sitting on inventory this year. Like if we have an event where I know we're gonna sell 100 shirts, I'll order them 2 weeks prior, sell them, and then buy new inventory. The only thing that we have to buy a
In
month in advance
China?
is like no, here.
Okay.
There's someone in Virginia that has they have like a screen printing warehouse and shit like that. But um if we have like shorts and stuff like that, we'll have to order that shit like a month in advance. And just plan ahead. I'm just gonna focus on selling out of everything and not worrying about like keeping inventory. That's my goal.
What do you have any fitness goals?
Yeah, I gotta run a marathon. Not have to, but I'm running a marathon on the 26th, that Marine Corps marathon again. I'm gonna run that this year. Try to get sub 3 on that, and then High Rocks in Dallas is gonna be the weekend that the Bills play the Houston
November,
Texans. So I'm
right?
thinking, yeah, I'm gonna go to the Bills game versus the Texans. I'll have a community event with the Bills fans where we feed the homeless and something like that, and then I'll do High Rocks Dallas will be my first High Rocks because I know that they needs to be. We need to start like having athletes that are doing High Rocks and like me competing in High Rocks for next year because I know next year is gonna be a big ass year for High Rocks and I'd be dumb to not like capitalize on that.
All Lifetime's making their own like High Rocks games.
Really?
Yeah, like the Lifetime gym is making like their own
Damn,
like
I did not know
athletic
that.
games.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're trying to capitalize on that shit too.
High Rocks got it on lock though. They're taking the torch from CrossFit 100%. So anybody else that
CrossFit's
tries to do
dead,
anything,
bro.
it's like,
I
yeah,
mean, CrossFit's like when I think of CrossFit, I just think of like the most intense people, whereas like High Rocks is like a lot more general, not general
yeah,
population. It's
anybody,
not like
but athletic people like
yeah, like
above
not as
above average, but
insane.
not yeah, yeah,
Yeah, because the general population is morbidly obese. So
yeah. Above average fitness people. That's what I would say. Like people that go to the gym 4 times a week
High Rocks
or
is like
more.
running, bro. It's really just running.
For real?
I mean, I ran it. I was 270 pounds when I ran it, and so
Damn,
the
I didn't know
fucking
that. The
um,
cardio is spanking you.
it's just like the running after like doing a sled, like a 300-pound sled pull and push, or like 40-pound walking lunges, and then going into running. That's just like the taxing part. But like the
How
people
much are
that
you
are running
running?
it the fastest, I think it's 7 miles, 6 to 7 miles, broken up
Mm,
in like 0.7 mile runs. You do it like eight
okay.
times. But the fastest people are just like the runners that also lift a few times a week.
Lift, yeah. That's why I feel like I could really get if I could get post marathon while I'm working out, like still being in workout shape, like going straight into that high rocks. I feel like I could fuck around and compete at that jump for sure.
It's fucking sick, bro. The track goes around. It's like this big. It's like a NASCAR. Like, have you ever been to NASCAR?
Mm, mm-mm. But I've
I've
seen it
never
on
been
TV.
either. But like, NASCAR has like the big track around, and then it has like all this stuff in the middle, and it's like kind of like that.
Yeah.
Like they just like all the spectators and stuff can like go into the middle, and they have like all these limited time gear and shirts, and like they sell out. Like once it's out, it's out, and it's like $100 t-shirts and shit, like insane. And
It's all Puma shit, right?
a lot of Puma. Yeah, I think it might be all Puma. And
Yeah, they're sponsored by Puma.
Yeah, I mean the quality's good, but it's just insane. Like by the time it was fully stacked when I started, and my friend's fiance when she finished, they were all sold out of everything on that day. And they have races from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Mm. Damn, there's 3 day events too. Like 2 to 3 day
Yeah,
events, Friday to Sunday.
yeah,
They're
it's
killing it,
crazy.
bro. Hopefully they stay smart and continue to run and don't do dumb shit like some of these brands do when they blow up. But we'll see. I'm
They
gonna
just
just be
need
a
to
leech on the
fucking just
whale
focus on what it is, bro, and not get
and
political.
keep it like that. Yeah, not get political or get too like just above or ahead of themselves and try to make it something bigger than it is.
Yeah, I don't know. It's sick. Have you ran a marathon before?
Yeah, I ran one last year. That shit was crazy. Worst experience of my life. That shit is maniacal, but I enjoyed it. I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this again next year, and I'm gonna be better, because I was conditioned, but I wasn't conditioned to run a full race. I hadn't run enough mileage to be prepared to run 23 or whatever. That shit was tired. 26.
What's what's your pace? Like what right now?
I think I finished at. I haven't started running yet. I literally have my Amazon open. I'm about to buy some Asics with the gift card, and I'm gonna start running on Monday. I'll be all right though. It really takes me 3 months of being committed to something is all that I need to like really like be good. And I'm 4 months away, so um, I'll be good.
3 months, a few times a week. Are you doing a
Yeah,
singles?
it's just my. Yeah, I'll probably try to do doubles with somebody. I'll see if somebody will want to do a doubles with me in Dallas.
Definitely do
But if not, I'll do
doubles.
singles. You said do doubles for sure.
Yeah, do doubles in the first one. It's
Why?
singles is tough, bro.
Yeah,
Like it's the same shit, but doubles is just split in half. Like you do all the
hmm
running, but it's just like all the workouts are
it's
split in
split.
half. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably do doubles then, because I'm not trying to like go balls to the walls for this first one. I'm just trying to like see how the setup is, see how the lay of the land is, and then do this event and be like, all right, for the next, I'm gonna do High Rocks DC for sure, and then I'll probably do High Rocks in like two more cities and like really try to compete, and then have like an army of Vay people that are doing those events where like they're all wearing Vay gear, and like we do a pop up before the event and shit like that too.
I think I'm gonna do the one in Chicago in November.
This year.
Yeah,
Okay, that's sweet.
I haven't signed up for it. Maybe I'll do Dallas. I don't know.
November, slide to Dallas, man.
Have you bought tickets or anything? I don't even know if they come out.
They're not sold. They're not selling them yet. But once they do, I'm gonna tap in with it.
I might do the one in Dallas with you if you want to do doubles.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm with it.
But you're probably a lot
And then
faster
I
than
want to
me.
do Miami too. Miami's gonna sell out quick, but like I want to do three High Rocks for sure. I'm gonna do Dallas. I'm gonna do DC 100%, and then I'm gonna see if I can do a Miami High Rocks. So those three
Miami's cool.
locations would be great. Yeah,
Anything to go to Miami to is so.
yeah, exactly. So hopefully they
I gotta
fuck with me.
piss. You want to call this?
Yeah, we could clip it. I think we got a lot of good clips. Damn, we've been on for an hour 20. That's crazy.
Yeah. You want to do this like every
Yeah, we
week
could
or
clip.
something?
Yeah, we
Or
could
whenever
dead
we
ass do
can?
this every Friday.
I want to come.
I'm cool with
I'll
that.
start like idea. The last time we were running podcasts consistently, like I had a really good factory for getting ideas and shit on. So I'll start running that again.
Yeah, I'll bring some ideas too. And I have like some low key businesses that we could like rap about. Like, bro, it's some shit called Splash Mocha where it's like, I got some businesses I've been looking at on the bottoms of the crumbs of the earth, bro. It's some businesses, people making a lot of money off of weird, kinky, fetishy shit, bro. Like, that's all I can say.
I didn't look into it at all. Did you ever look into the black colored deodorant?
No, I didn't look in. No, I didn't look into it.
I wonder.
We'll have to bring. We'll have to like.
to see.
We'll have to look for some weird businesses. Like every week, we'll bring like just do a case study on a really weird ass business that's making a lot of money. I think that'd be hella interesting for to
Yeah,
research
let's
and
do it.
also to share.
I'll bring
I'll
one
bring
next
the one.
week.
I got a good one. So whatever you want me to say, I will run it.
Okay.